Welcome to my channel, Learn and Play with Alyssa. Today I'm going to be reading Anne Arrives. It's about a little girl named Anne who arrives in a village that's called Green Gables. Let's start reading. I hope you enjoy this book. Anne Arrives. Adapted by Kaylee George. Pictures by Abigail Halpin. Anne arrives. Chapter 1. One sunny afternoon in June, Miss Rachel Lynde looked out her window. To her surprise, she saw Matthew Cuthbert. He was passing by in his horse and buggy. Matthew and his sister Marilla lived at Green Gables, next door to Miss Lynde. Where is Matthew going at this time of the day? Miss Lynde wondered. And why is he wearing his best suit? Miss Lynde knew all the comings and goings in Avonlea, but she didn't know about this one. I must visit Marilla to find out, she decided. At Green Gables, Marilla was busy knitting. We have decided to adopt an orphan boy, she explained to Mrs. Lynde. We need help on the farm. Now Mrs. Lynde was truly surprised. An orphan? But Marilla, the orphan is coming on today's train, added Marilla. Miss Lynde did not approve. Mark my words, this is a mistake, she said. Chapter 2. When Matthew arrived at the train station, he didn't see a boy, but he did see a girl. Under her old sailor hat were two red braids. She had a pointed, freckled face and large eyes. She was holding a worn carpet bag. Matthew was very shy. He didn't know what to do. The girl was not shy. Are you Matthew Cuthbert of Green Gables? She shook her hand. Matthew shook it. I'm very glad to see you, said the girl. Her voice was sweet and clear. If you didn't come, I was going to sleep in that cherry tree. It would be lovely to sleep in the tree. Can you imagine it? But I would rather go to Green Gables. What could Matthew say to that? Come along, he told her. So we see that Matthew and this little girl was riding on the horse and buggy to Green Gables. Chapter 3. The whole drive back, the orphan girl kept talking. There's so little scope for the imagination in the orphanage. But here, oh! She gasped at everything she saw, and she made up names for all the places they passed. She named the avenue the White Way of Delight. She named the pond the Lake of Shining Waters. The only name she didn't mention was her own. Matthew was too shy to ask. I'm nearly perfectly happy, said the girl, but I can't be perfectly happy because, well, she held up a braid. What color is this? Red, replied Matthew. Yes, I can imagine anything except I cannot imagine away my red hair. It is one of my lifelong sorrows. She gave a great sigh. Then she added, am I talking too much? I can stop if I try hard. I don't mind, he said. Already, Matthew liked this strange little girl. But she was a girl, not a boy. Marilla would not be happy. Chapter 4. Matthew was right. Where is the boy? Exclaimed Marilla. She stared at the girl. This is a pretty piece of business. You don't want me? The girl burst into tears. Oh, this is the most tragical thing that ever happened to me. Marilla sighed. Dry your eyes, child. We won't turn you out tonight. What's your name? Anne Shirley. Anne spelled with an E. What difference does spelling make? Oh, such a difference, said Anne. Anne with an E looks so much nicer. Marilla sighed again. Very well then, Anne with the E. It is time for supper. But Anne couldn't eat. She would have to return to the orphanage. As soon as she had seen Green Gables, she felt it was home. Now it wouldn't be. She was in the depths of despair. That night she cried herself to sleep. Not even that beautiful cherry tree outside her window made her feel better. In the morning, cherry sunshine poured through the window. The cherry tree tapped its branches on the glass, like it was saying, "Good morning." The lake of shining waters sparkled in the distance. Anne felt better. It's such a lovely morning, she said at breakfast. But I like rainy mornings too. Aren't all mornings interesting? You never know what might happen. Matthew smiled. Marilla muttered, "For pity's sake, I will tell you what is happening. I'm taking you to Miss Spencer. Miss Spencer will return you to the orphanage." Miss Spencer had brought Annie on the train. She worked at the orphanage. For once, Anne had nothing to say. After breakfast, Marilla and Anne went to Miss Spencer's house. On the way, Anne tried to keep her spirits up, but it was hard, especially when they arrived. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Mrs. Spencer, but Marilla told them about the mistake. But what good luck. Anne doesn't have to go to the orphanage. Miss Blewett is here looking for a girl to take care of her children. Said Miss Blewett, eyeing Anne. "There's much to you, but you're wary. I'll expect to earn your keep." Mrs. Blewett wanted Anne to come work for her. Marilla paused. "Well, I don't know," she said slowly. As stern as Marilla could be, she was also kind. "Maybe we will keep her," Marilla told Mrs. Spencer. "Did you really say that?" whispered Anne, as she and Marilla walked home, "or did I imagine it?" "If you want to stay here, you must behave yourself, Anne," said Marilla, "and try to control your imagination." "I'll try so hard to be good," said Anne. "It will be uphill work, but I will do my best." Still, everything was going well. Chapter 6. Anne did all her chores, just like Marilla wanted. In her free time, she played and made up new names. Anne named the cherry tree outside her window the Snow Queen, and the flower on her windowsill Bonnie. "I don't believe in calling things names that don't belong to them," said Marilla. "But do you ever imagine things are differently from what they really are?" said Anne. "No," said Marilla. "Oh, Marilla, how much you miss," said Anne. Still, everything was going out well, until Anne's manners were put to a test. Miss Lyon came over to meet Anne. She clucked her tongue. "What a mistake! Did I tell you? She's terribly skinny, Marilla. Just look at those freckles. And that hair! What is carrots?" face turned as red as her hair. "Oh, how dare you! You are a rude, unfeeling woman!" Mrs. Lion's eyes went wide. Anne stamped her foot. "Stop! Stop!" Mrs. Lion's eyes went wider. "Aunt Shirley!" exclaimed Marilla. "Go to your room at once." Chapter 7. Anne lay on her bed and stopped. Marilla came up. "You must apologize," she said. "I will never apologize," cried Anne. "You will stay in your room until you do," said Marilla sternly. "You said you would behave, but you haven't." All that evening Anne stayed in her room. All the next day, too. That night, Matthew tiptoed upstairs. "It was awfully quiet without you at supper," he said. "Maybe you could apologize. For me? I've always wanted you to stay there." "You really want me? No one has ever wanted me before." Matthew nodded. Anne took a deep breath. "For you, Matthew, I will." "Just don't tell Marilla I said anything," added Matthew. "Wild horses won't drag the secrets from me," said Anne. The next day, Anne went to Miss Lyon's house with Marilla. Anne was busy imagining. She was imagining the best apology ever. When they arrived, Anne threw herself down on her knees. "Oh, dear Miss Lyons, I can never express how sorry I am. Not even if I used a whole dictionary. Miss Lyons, please, please, please forgive me. If you refuse, it will be another one of my lifelong sorrows." Anne clasped her hands. There, child, get up," said Miss Lyons heartily. "Of course I forgive you. I'm sorry, too. I always speak my mind." "So do I," thought Anne. "And," added Miss Lyons, "your hair is bound to turn into a handsome auburn as you grow." "Oh, Miss Lyons," said Anne, "you have given me hope." Miss Lyons smiled. Then she said, "On the whole, Marilla, I like her." So did Marilla. She smiled too. "Good, because she is staying with us at Green Gables. Come on, Anne, time to go home." Anne's eyes sparkled. Marilla and Anne walked back to Green Gables. Anne slipped her hand into Marilla's. "Oh, how wonderful it is to be going home and know it's home. Green Gables is the dearest, loveliest spot in the world. I love it already." She had been Anne of Nowhere in particular for as long as she could remember. It was a million times nicer to be Anne of Green Gables. The end. We are done reading the book Anne Arise. Remember to subscribe, ring the bell, and give us a big thumbs up. Bye-bye.